just because we started a few minutes late, but we will try and bring in the Q&A in later today. So this is the quick overview of what I'm going to talk about in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I want to give you a quick recap of the highlights and where we are at Melonport. From February till now, we're 11 people, and I'll give you some of the key highlights. And you're going to hear about the highlights in a lot more detail in the next couple of days. I'm then going to recap the Melon protocol for those of you who are not familiar with it, and for those of you who are, it serves as a good reminder. I'm going to kind of say a few words on why we came to found M0 and why we wanted to found the first blockchain conference for asset management. And then I'm going to finish by just telling you what's in store for you. And I really genuinely hope you all get a lot out of it in the next couple of days. So the first message I want to start with is in February 2017, when we did our token issuance, we set a bunch of milestones for ourselves. And the goal was to be live with the Melon protocol by February 2019 with governance. The big message I want to send to the room today is we now think we're going to be live with a very basic form of governance by February 2018. And that's not all. We delivered on what we promised. And I hope in the next couple of days you're also going to see a lot more. We've overpromised. We've over-delivered, sorry. Under-promised, over-delivered. So I'm going to just go through a few of the main highlights, and then we'll pass it over to the developers in the room and the Melon team and the ecosystem players who have played a huge role in bringing us this far. Thank you. And then we'll take it from there. So the first thing I want to talk about is Oyente. For those of you who are not familiar with Oyente already, Oyente is a really critical tool when it comes to the security of smart contracts. Oyente was launched by, or pioneered by Loi Lu. In April this year, Oyente ran out of funding, and we saw it as an opportunity to pitch in and fund Oyente and start to use those tools in our day-to-day work. Obviously, we're building the future of asset management here, and security is very important to us. We've now developed the Oyente tool into something that is very it's open source and free for everyone to use, but we've customized it specifically to our needs and to our own attack vectors, or the ones that we perceive. And you'll hear from Travis later. We've also integrated into dApp suites, and we're using it. I'm very pleased to announce that we're using it in our day-to-day development work. Next, melon.js. For those of you, and I know there's many of them in the room who are not smart contract developers, hearing about Solidity development and smart contracts and all this kind of stuff can be very overwhelming. So we are very pleased to announce melon.js. Melon.js is a tool which makes it very easy to interact with the Melon protocol. It essentially enhances the user experience and makes it much easier to use. You're going to get a tour around this later today, actually this morning. And also, pleased to announce that we have a live trading bot on the testnet since yesterday, and it's going to be interacting with a live Melon, with a testnet Melon fund, and we'll demo that for you guys as well today. The Melon front end. We did promise a Melon front end, but what I'm proud to announce today is that the front end is incredibly reliable, permissionless, and ownerless, and is one of the first front ends running on IPFS. And we're very excited to share not just the new branding and design around the Melon protocol, but also the fact that it's running on IPFS. And one of the last highlights I'm going to highlight is Melon Mail. Thanks to our friends, they're somewhere here in the room from dCenter, we now have a very secure messaging service for managers and investors to interact with one another using Melon Mail. You're going to get a demo and more information on this later, but essentially there is no more secure way of communicating than Melon Mail, we believe. And now I want to introduce you to the team. I think this slide says it all. Anyone in this space knows how difficult it is to hire the right people. There's not just a shortage of them. But we actually don't even know what we need because the technology is changing every day and developing every day, and there's no template that we can find. So the most important skill set that we look for is people who can teach themselves new things every day and stay on top of bleeding edge technology. Not even cutting edge, this is bleeding edge technology. And I'm proud to say that Reto and I have a team of ninjas that you should fear. These ninjas not only know how to teach themselves new things every day, but they see what we give them, and they want more. And they overachieve, and then they're still not happy, and they want more. So with that, not have we only delivered on what we promised, and a few of these highlights, but we've also managed to collaborate with world-class companies such as Reuters on price data feeds, and Oracleized, can't forget to mention them, with Thomas Bertani being one of the first guys to integrate a price feed module into Melonport. We have also worked on finding a solution to whitelist investors into melon funds, so you can decide who you will permission to invest in a melon fund. And we're working together with Uport and the Canton of Zug to make these KYC AMLs appropriate for melon funds in Zug. And lastly, we're proud to announce that with our latest release, we're now using an Oasis DEX implementation, and we obviously have plans to integrate with every other decentralized exchange, hybrid exchange, and centralized exchange. And it's no secret to who we may be talking to, because a lot of you are already in the room. So we've delivered, and we hope we will deliver by February 2018. And we will be live on Ethereum with a basic form of governance. But we also know that we have people who want to use the fund for high-frequency trading and other functionalities. And that's why the team of ninjas have decided they want to bring you something faster, even more efficient, cheaper, and we're going to make that the Melon chain. And that's what our work will entail from February next year onwards for the year after that. And we envision the Melon chain being the first domain chain on the Web3 network, and that's where we will see a more enhanced governance structure. Now, just a couple of words on governance as a refresh. Reto is going to go into this in a lot more detail tomorrow, but we have at the very top layer the Melon maintainers, who will be nominated by Melon token holders. These maintainers have the job of adding, modifying, removing, and upgrading to different versions. We initially set out with a guided inflation rate to the Melon token of 20 to 25%. We now think that's no longer necessary to be that high. The reason being that most of the module classes we anticipated to have been completed by the Melon team, and also are very template driven, so you don't need to incentivize the recreation of those modules over and over again. The main areas where we do feel there is a need to incentivize further development are risk management, data feeds, and compliance. And that's really what the inflation is there to drive. So here and now we're committing to a maximum of 10% inflation once we go live with a Melon chain, and saying that the governance will be there as an alternative for a faster and more efficient chain. But that will take longer. I also want to say that we don't just stop at the technology. Later today, we'll be telling you about MAMA. MAMA is the trade association. We'll be announcing, giving you more details on that with 21 founding members. And just a very quick recap on the Melon protocol and what it does for those of you who are not familiar with it. I'm going to keep it very basic. The Melon protocol allows you to do 5 things. It allows you to predefine the parameters by which you want your fund to run in code. It then allows you to manage the fund within those predefined parameters, and those parameters are obviously enforced by the blockchain technology. It allows you to create an auditable, transparent, and visible track record on the blockchain, which is non-disputable, all for the cost of approximately $50. It allows people to invest in your fund, or for you to invest in other funds using the technology. And lastly, it takes care of all the accounting. So the NAV calculation formulas are in the smart contracts and calculated by the smart contracts. The performance and management fees are also, the accounting for that is in the smart contracts. The smart contract literally calculates and pays out the fees for you. Now, lastly, I just want to end on why M0. We obviously believe that there is a better asset management future. We believe that we're at the forefront of building that alongside many other people in this room. We also think that this is a great opportunity to discuss collaborations, integrations, and networking over the next couple of days. And we're very, very, very excited to meet with you, talk with you in the coffee breaks, tonight at dinner, drinks, same tomorrow, and hear from you guys and discuss the future. So with that, I'm just going to give you a quick highlight of what to expect. There is actually a theme to the program. And the theme goes like this. We're going to start off by giving you a back to front end tour of Melon. We're then going to hear from various different token generators. Johan set the scene up for that pretty nicely. And who are the people creating tokens on the blockchain? And we'll wrap that up with a panel discussion, which will be led by George Hallam. We're then going to hear from the asset managers themselves, and there's quite a few of them here. There'll be a panel there moderated by Sean Park from Anthemis. We're very excited to have him here and some of the biggest asset managers in the crypto space. We'll then discuss regulatory issues in the new world, challenges and benefits of smart contract technology. We'll have a panel there moderated by Mike Butcher from TechCrunch. We're then going to hear tomorrow on bringing data to the blockchain from some of the pioneers in the space, Oraclize, Reuters, and other people building data feeds to link up to the Melon protocol. And finally, we're going to talk about decentralized exchanges. In the last year, we've seen maybe a couple of dozen decentralized exchanges appearing out of nowhere. We obviously believe this is the future. We're very excited to have a lot of the pioneers in that space in this room, and I can't wait to hear about them and finish with a discussion around them. We're going to end by hearing a future vision from Gavin Wood on how he sees Web3 and the development in that direction, and then Reto Trinkler will close on his vision for Melon going forward. Thank you very much. I wish you a very nice couple of days, and I'm going to hand you over to Travis now.
Yeah, just go view, no, inside the browser here, view.
Yeah.
Actually, here, need to go to the beginning.
Here's the clicker.